I'm Miranda. You may have noticed the three initials BDS popping up in the media in Canada a lot recently. For example, in early 2016, BDS was heavily discussed in the news in Canada when Parliament passed a motion about it. But what is BDS? Simply put, BDS, standing for Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions, is a movement used to put economic pressure on Israel to change its policies. But why, you might ask? What has Israel done to deserve to be boycotted? Unfortunately, Israel has been brutally violating the human rights of Palestinians for over 40 years. These abuses have taken many forms over the years. For example, Israel has been militarily occupying the West Bank and other Palestinian territories since 1967. Israeli soldiers patrol the streets in Palestinian cities and towns. They staff checkpoints where Palestinian civilians often wait for hours. They make nighttime arrests and detain Palestinians for months without charge. In addition, Israel has built over 100 Jewish-only colonies in the West Bank, calling them settlements, and illegally moving Jewish Israeli civilians onto land confiscated from Palestinian civilians. Another abuse is Israel's treatment of Palestinian refugees. 5 million Palestinian refugees have no place to go. International law calls for refugees to be allowed to return to their homes. However, Israel has never let any Palestinian refugees return. Finally, Israel treats Palestinian citizens of Israel proper as second-class citizens. Palestinian citizens are effectively blocked from important government subsidies. Palestinian communities in Israel receive far less government investment than their Jewish counterparts. And Palestinian citizens face Israeli laws which discriminate against them in many ways. Even though each year the United Nations admonishes Israel for its human rights abuses against Palestinians, nothing changes. Frustrated with international inaction, in 2005, 170 organizations from Palestinian civil society launched a movement, BDS, to economically pressure the Israeli government to respect their human rights. First, individuals and organizations are called to boycott Israel. Second, banks and financial bodies are called to divest from Israel. And third, countries are called to sanction Israel. The BDS movement has gained tons of momentum since it was launched. Countless companies, banks, church denominations, unions, political parties, performers, and others around the world have already signed on. But remember, BDS simply seeks respect for Palestinian human rights. So it will end. The pressure will end when 3 conditions are met. First, Israel must end its occupation and illegal colonization of Palestinian land. Second, Israel must allow for the return of Palestinian refugees or provide them compensation. And third, Israel must give Palestinian citizens of Israel equal rights. Each of the 3 demands of BDS is perfectly aligned with international law. So when you support BDS, you're supporting international law. For example, when BDS calls for an end to Israel's military occupation, it's calling for respect for the UN Charter. Similarly, when BDS calls for a solution for the Palestinian refugees, it's calling for respect of the 4th Geneva Convention. And when BDS calls for equal rights for Palestinians in Israel, it's calling for respect for the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Even better, the demands of the BDS movement are perfectly aligned with Canada's official policy on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. So when you join the BDS movement, you're participating in something which respects both international law as well as official Canadian policy. So give it a try. Jump in, support BDS, promote respect for human rights, and support a peaceful resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. If you're not sure how to start, consider getting a free pack of BDS sticky notes. Links for the BDS sticky notes, as well as other useful information to help you get started, will be shown at the end of this video. Hopefully Israel will end its occupation soon and give Palestinians their rights. Until then, happy boycotting!